and today I want to show you how to make some of the rosettes on the Cricut Art Philosophy cartridge, which is an exclusive cartridge from Close to My Heart. We're going to be working with the rosettes that are on page 68, where we have this little fleur-de-lis pattern. It's in the font layer. There are two here, and then on page 69, the two in the font layer there, and then finally the one on page 70, which is in the font layer. I did just this one. So I'm going to get you started and try to show you how to put these rosettes together so that you can add them as a fun embellishment to any project. So the first two embellishments that we're going to work on, the first two rosettes that we're going to work on, are the ones on page 68. So here I have what it's going to look like when you cut out the one on the left side, and this is at 4 inches, and then I have the one on the right side also at 4 inches. One of the tricks to getting a really nice dimensional look to your rosettes is to ink the edges, and I had a problem with that when I started out, and so what you'll find is on the back side of mine here I have this very speckled look. I had kind of messed it up, so I figured rather than wasting the rosette, I continued sponging the entire side, and then I'm just going to do the edges of the other side so that there's kind of like a two-tone look to it as well. But the trick is that you take a piece of blank paper, and mine's sticking a little bit to my crafting mat, and what you're going to do is, in order to keep it from getting on the edges of the leaves below, you put the little piece of paper in between. And here I have my sponge from Close to My Heart, and I'm using today the Cocoa Close to My Heart ink. I like this color. It's very versatile, and it's very good for getting a very antique-y looking edge. So all you're going to do is get a little tiny bit of ink on the edges, and then you go ahead around the edges of the petals. It's a little bit difficult to do from this angle, but you kind of get the idea that you're going to ink those edges up. And once you finish the one section, then you take your piece of paper, you put it underneath the next section, and then you continue along until your entire flower is inked like this. Once you're finished with that, you should have all of these little edges have the nice cocoa ink around the ends, and then you're just going to curl it up. Now what I did was I got these tweezers. They're crafting tweezers, so you can see when you squeeze together it will open up and close. And what you want to do, but you could also wrap this around a pen or a pencil, it just won't be as tight. And what you want to do is you want to roll the rosette around the edge of whatever it is that you're using, and you're just going to start at the end and just continue to roll the entire thing all the way up. Try to keep the ends kind of at the same level. And you'll see that when you get to the end of that, you can kind of undo that and finish rolling by hand. Until you get to the very end of the rosette. And when you do, even if you let go, you're still going to have this fantastic rose shape, and I'm going to show you how to keep that all together. Once you have your rosette like this, we're going to use the Close to My Heart liquid glass. I love this. It's a fantastic adhesive. If you do a search on it on the Close to My Heart websites, you can actually find people who use liquid glass for everything. Highly recommend it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the liquid glass just a little bit right on the bottom center of this flat area on the bottom of your rosette. And so I'm going to put that down, and you don't need a lot, just maybe 1/4 of an inch worth. I don't know if you can see that there. I think you can. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the other section of the rosette and you're going to stick it down and hold it with your finger so that it adheres to the bottom. And so here you can kind of see I just have my finger right down in the bottom middle. And if you do it for long enough, just maybe 20 seconds or so, then you should be able to have that stick. It doesn't take very long. And so now you can see I have my rosette and it's sticking to the bottom. So that one is the rosette on the left hand side on page 68, and now I'm going to do the right hand side on page 68. And as I showed you before, it looks like this when you start out. I've actually already done the edges, you can probably see that already. And so all I'm going to do now, since I've already done the edges, is to grab the end with my crafting tweezers, and I'm going to start rolling just like I did before. And I want to keep a nice tight wrap, and again try to keep the bottoms together. Not sure if you can see that on camera as well. Once I have a decent wrap on this, I can pull the tweezers out and continue to go. I find it a little bit easier to do it without the tweezers in the way, so I can kind of see the bottoms a little bit better and have a better handle on it. And you're going to roll all the way around in a circle. Now if you don't want to get covered in your ink, which I definitely am here, you can wait, you can ink these one day, and then the following day you can go ahead and do the rolling and creation. So that might be another option for you if you don't want to be kind of covered in ink. Once I'm done, I let go. This one's really nice. It's kind of more of a rose look. And then again, I'm going to take my liquid glass right on the bottom here where the flat end is, if you can see that. And I'm going to put that little small bit of liquid glass on the bottom, just enough. That's also a nice thing about the liquid glass. It really goes a very long way. And I'm going to set my rosette down on the bottom, push it down with my fingers for a few seconds until it kind of catches. And that should take maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds, depending on the pressure that you apply. You don't want to use too much pressure because you don't want to flatten out your rosette. Once you're done, you have this beautiful rosette. Okay, the next rosette that we're going to do is on page 69. It's the one on the left hand side. It looks kind of like a sunburst. Here it is, and I think I cut this one out at about 3 3/4 inches, and I've already done the edges of this one too, and this one's a little bit smaller, so it might be a little harder to catch with your tweezers or a little harder to roll. Starburst. And one thing that I did notice on this one, looks like it has a pretty nice well to put in a jewel right down in the middle. If you can see where I have that liquid glass, right down in the middle there. I think that I could put a little jewel down in there to make the center of the flower just a little bit more sparkly. So I finished up the rolling and gluing of the last two. Here was the last rosette that was on page 69, and that one came out really cute. And then the one on page 70, which is also nice and loose. And then the final thing that I did that I just wanted to show you was, I wanted to show you that if you push the petals the right way, you can actually add little jewels down in the middle, in the center of these rosettes. And the one that I showed you before that I thought would be good, that has that kind of sunburst look to it, came out really cute with the little jewel on the bottom of that. And all I did was I took a little bit of liquid glass into the center, and then I used my craft tweezers and I placed the jewel down in the bottom. So I hope that that helps you. I'm going to take these rosettes and use them on a couple of my new close to my heart projects, and I'll share those with you as well. Enjoy.